Hello there, I'm Thomas, the pilot flying the Airbus A340-300 in this flight from Zurich International Airport. We're going to be flying back to Zurich International Airport at flight level 250 to the 5,000 feet with max speed 0.82 or 325 knots. And right now I'm going to be in the cockpit doing the takeoff flight preparation, and I'm going to be explaining some of the systems of the Airbus A340 and do a very fast engine start demonstration, and perhaps I'm going to also do the flight management guidance computer demonstration of the flight plan and flight performance entry display and explanation. So here we are in the cockpit of the Airbus A340. As you can see, we have the side stick here. This is fly-by-wire aircraft, so we use the side stick Lszh Extreme 3D for controlling the flight controls. I'm going to be very fast for this flight. I'm not going to explain everything. You can see the primary flight display over here, the flight mode annunciator, and the thrust levers. I'm using the thrust levers to increase the thrust. You can see the auto thrust is arm over here in blue. When I move the thrust lever to the takeoff go around or to the MST, and the manual takeoff go around is displayed here in the primary flight display flight mode annunciator. Here we have the N1, the exhaust gas temperature. The N1, this is the thrust lever position displayed with blue. So if I gonna decrease the thrust down, you're gonna see the blue cycle here goes to the idle about 28-27%. So the exhaust gas temperature, the N1, which is the high, the low speed, low pressure compressor stage of the engine, right now it's 23%. The exhaust gas temperature 548 degrees, and the N2, which is the high speed compressor, high pressure compressor stage of the engine, is 60.3. So the fuel flow is 2020 pounds per engine per hour. Our fuel on board is 73,000 pounds. I'm going to be explaining some more of the systems. Here we have the ECAM display, the upper ECAM and the lower ECAM. As I was telling, here's the primary flight display, the airspeed display, the airspeed selected in the autopilot or managed from the flight management computer. And here is the altitude, the barometric altitude above the sea level, which is 1,430 feet, radio altitude, which is -1, and the compass, which is magnetic or true. Here we have the autopilot, so I'm gonna try to be very fast for this. Here we have the thrust levers, the engine mode selector, the engine master switches. I'm going to explain it later. The thrust levers 1, 2, 3, 4, and here is the pitch stream, which is manual or automatic, which balances the aircraft center of gravity during flight by moving the horizontal stabilizer, the tail of the aircraft up and down. So here is the thrust reverse. You can see I'm using thrust reverses in the engine by moving this lever over here. So I will disconnect this. You can see also the reverse displayed here. So right now we have I'm gonna show you a little bit the overhead panel. This is another view of the cockpit of the Airbus A340-313X. So here is the overhead panel. Gonna be very quick. So this is the ECAM. You can see the systems here from the ECAM displayed. So this is the bleed system over here, which is the air panel, which is engine 1, engine 2, engine 3 and engine 4. Engine 3 and engine 4 from each engine. which supplies compressed air from the engines. And also if I'm gonna turn this off, we're gonna see the message here that the system is off, it's not supplying air. So if I reconnect the engines, the system goes out, so we have pressurized air from the engines. Here is the electrical, alternate current and direct current. So this is engine 1 generator, integrated drive generator, engine 2, engine 3 and engine 4. We have one from each engine to supply 115 volts, 75,000 kilovolts of electric alternate current. So if I disconnect this, you can see we have no electrical from the engines. We have only from the batteries right now. So the system goes off and we have the fault here displayed for the electrical. So if I reconnect this, we have the electrical back from the engines. Here is the fuel panel. Over here you can see 115 volt, 400 hertz, 48%. IDG1, and this is the IDG contactor management contactor unit, which controls the contactors from the IDGs or from other sources like the APU or the batteries, for alternating the electrical sources. So here is the electrical direct current from the batteries, battery 1, battery 2, which is displayed also here in the overhead panel. Battery 1, battery 2 and APU battery. So right now I need to start the APU. So I'm gonna turn the master switch on and the start here for the APU. I'm gonna have the APU displayed maybe here. You can see the APU starting, and we're gonna use this for starting the engine very fast. And here's the fuel panel, the hydraulics, green hydraulic from engine 1 and engine 4. You can see the hydraulics also displayed here. Blue hydraulic from engine 2 and yellow hydraulic from engine number 3. We have 4 engines and each one has its own system. Only engine 1 and engine 4 have both a green system, and they each pressurize 3000 psi, pounds per square inch. And we have the electrical backups, so I'm gonna talk later for that. Right now I'm gonna do the engine start very fast. So I'm gonna come here in the cockpit, virtual cockpit. So I'm gonna turn off all engines for this. We have the APU ready, so you can see the engines are winning out right now. We have a stop of spinning in the engine. We have a drop of the N1 and the exhaust gas temperature and the oil and the fuel used. So I'm gonna come here in the a flight management computer. We have 318,000 pounds, zero fuel weight. So the blue fuel is 74,000 pounds approximately, 72.28. So we're gonna use 70,000. Maximum takeoff weight is 389,000 pounds, so we set that from the initialize. So right now we need to come here. We need some APU pressurizer and turn off the packs and turn this in the off position, the isolation valve from the pressurization panel. So I'm gonna turn the engine start selector, mode selector here, and I'm gonna turn both engine master switches, which is gonna let the low and the high pressure fuel flow valves on when the engine starters are having high pressure like N2 of 20%. And here we can see the engine spinning. Yeah. It also initiates the FADEC, which is a full authority digital engine control. So I'm gonna do very fast. Now I'm gonna come in the engine number 3 and engine number 4. So I'm gonna let this in the auto. We can turn the packs if we want in the auto position, not losing time. So I'm gonna come in the engines, engine number 3 and engine number 4. So we have some pressurization build up here. We can see the right wing engine. Now this starts spinning, both of them. Engine number 3. Here we have it, they're ready. All engines are start, very fast. So I'm gonna use a trim of up to, maybe flaps 2 here. So Lszh, Lszh, align the RS. Departure runway 14. Arrival, same arrival, Lszh 14, Transnegria, insert. So we're gonna use flaps 2 up, the pit stream, 20 up. And we have a V1 145, 150 V rotate, and V2 155. So here is so much for the flight plan. We're ready almost to take off. We only need to set the flight altitude. And turn the ILS on, which is going to arm here in the runway heading. So we're ready to take off right now. Here we are in the runway, Zurich International Airport, and we're ready to depart for a short flight, I hope. So we're gonna make everything very fast. I'm going to advance the thrust levers using this all the way. You can see the messages displayed here. We have the auto thrust in blue, the manual takeoff go around, the SRS, the runway, and the glide and the nav, which are armed. And I disconnect the parking brake, and here we go. "64, 70 knots, 80 knots, 100 knots. Here we have it. 105. Here we are. Here we go. We rotate. retract the landing gear. And here we go. So here we have it. You can see the airspeed here, the altitude, the radio altitude, which is 2,600 feet above the ground level. The barometric altitude 4,800 feet above the sea level. Our airspeed is increasing, 180 knots. The stall speed and the maximum speed according to the flap setting right now. Here we have the lever glide. I'm gonna use MCT instead. We need to climb faster for this flight and come back faster. So we only have 20 minutes to go for this video. I'm gonna use the MCT instead. And maybe retract some flaps. I'm not sure. This is gonna help the rate of climb. So you can see here in the map, in the navigation display where we are right now, the flight path we follow. And maybe I'm gonna show you some more airports around here. In the GPS. You see how gorgeous this aircraft is. Very elegant. I believe it's one of the best aircraft ever built. The Airbus A340. Here we have some nice skies over Zurich, and you can see Germany this way. I'm gonna overfly it, maybe. Have a nice cockpit view now here. Beautiful sunset. You can see all the systems are fine here in Daycam. You can see our altitude right now, 11,000 feet. So we have MCT right now. I'm gonna turn a little bit. We use more flaps to climb faster. It's a good idea sometimes. You can see Germany here. Some airports like ED, DS, NED, MB, EDTM, EDSG, EDSA, EDSN, DNO. The DMB maybe is Munich right here. And here we have Switzerland. So right now we are almost over flying Germany. You can see some star sign here. Beautiful star sign. We are now about 14,000 feet. Keep climbing. Still not having the chemtrails effect. Hope we're gonna have them in a while. Try and climb faster. Looks like cannot climb like more than 1,600 feet or 2,000 feet per minute. You can see the rate of climb needle here is 1,300 feet. Our altitude is 15,280 feet. 25,100 feet altitude selected and 298 knots. It's the selected, the managed airspeed from the flight management computer. And here is the stall speed. We have to avoid this yellow line because it's the maximum angle of attack for this aircraft, and it's going to initialize the alpha protection system via the stall of the aircraft. So you can see the pitch stream here, which is automatic, the flight management computer. You can see the flight plan here. We have the waypoints we're going to be overflying until we reach our destination. So here we have our next waypoint over here. It's 13.7 nautical miles away from us. Keep climbing. We need like 15 more minutes to go. We're almost over flying Germany. Now we'll left Switzerland in the back. Here's a Lszh. We need like 4 minutes more to reach the maximum high level. So I'm gonna use, you can see how I use the side stick to fly this aircraft. Feet. $20,000 almost. To go, and we have 10 minutes more to go for this maybe video. We need 5 minutes more to climb to the maximum altitude, like that. Gonna make it like maybe 3 minutes, if I can, or even 2 minutes. Thousand 200, keep climbing, 1500, to the 1000 feet. Still don't have the chemtrails effect. So yeah, this maximum angle of attack has been reached. So we have to reset the climbing rate already. We need 15 more minutes to go. We have 93.9%. We're gonna have the chemtrails in a while. Almost have it. Start turning towards the airport right now in a while. So here we are, 23,000 feet, and I have the chemtrails now. Here they are. Ooh, we have a lot of contrails, which is beautiful. Beautiful display. As you can see, we're turning back into the airport right now. We have a beautiful line of chemtrails. Contrails, call them as you want. Keep climbing and turning back into the airport right now. You can see how how safely we turn into the airport. And we're not gonna fly all the way to 25,000 feet, but that's okay, because we have to start descending in a while. So maybe retract the flaps. This is gonna give us a little bit more lift. So I'm gonna use the direct to mode. So here we go, direct into the airport. Final fix, we're just 47 nautical miles away, so we need to start descending right now. So here we go with the maximum cruise flight altitude. We have rates right now very fast. Here we are, 35,000 feet, as you can see. And here we are. "35,000 feet from on top of the world." You can see our chemtrails. Now we have to start descending to the airport. So we're gonna cross back 35,000 feet, as you can see, and reduce the thrust to idle. And we have 38 nautical miles away to go. I'm gonna reduce here in the autopilot down to 7,000 feet maybe. Yeah. You can see the view from 33,000 feet right now. So I'm going to decrease here the range, so we have a better view over here, and maybe make a sharper approach, because we have not much time. We only have 9 minutes to go, maybe 9 or 10 minutes. So here we are. Beautiful cockpit view of the Airbus A340, and we're going back into the airport. Descend smoothly, you can see. Nice view over here. So I'm gonna decrease the thrust here to a more safer margin, and use selected thrust instead of manual. So we need to use some dome light here. Not sure. So we have a little bit better view inside the cockpit as we descend to the airport. So we're gonna use a little bit more thrust for these approach as I'm descending to the airport. So we are in a good position right now. We're very close to the river. So here's the runway, as you can see. You can see the pitch stream is streaming the aircraft automatically. So if I'm gonna turn here in the flight controls, we have some overspeed now. I extend the speed brakes. You see the pitch stream right now 0.8 degrees down. You stream a little bit in position to balance the aircraft in flight. So we're much closer to the airport right now. We're gonna land in like a couple of minutes. Here is the river. Here is the runway. We're in very good position right now for landing. So yeah, you can see the runway here, the airport that I was telling you about. So maybe extend the speed brakes in a while. We have, I'm in the landing gear. So use shorter range for that. Have a much better view like that. So we have the LS on. We need to use the localizer to tune us in the localizer, which is gonna line up with the runway heading. So here we are crossing 8,000 feet. Keep descending. Yeah, we're very good position right now. So only need to extend the landing gear and the speed brakes and some flaps. So we're gonna make a turn here. Okay, I'm into position for landing. As you can see, we have the landing gear extended already. You can see the turn that we do. I'll use some more thrust. Oh, here we are, perfect alignment for this landing. Use a little bit more flaps. Use flaps full. And here we are. We have a good alignment here with the localizer and the glide slope, as you can see, that we have to follow. You'll need to turn a little bit to the left. And align the aircraft, use a little bit thrust. Five hundred feet. 400 feet. 300 feet. Here we are. 200 feet. 50, 40, 30, 10, 5, and here we are. Just touched down the runway. Use maximum reverse thrust and extend the speed brakes. And here we are. Perfectly safe landing of the Airbus A340. As you can see, we have the reverse here, the landing gear, the nose wheel, everything is safe. There is no damage to the wheel or the landing gear. And the strut and the tires are perfectly safe. As you can see, we can still move around. You can see the runway 14 Zurich Airport. So this is the reverse thrust. I'm going to engage that. And here we have everything safe in the cockpit. There is no warnings or messages. We have just landed. No ECAM message. No. So that was Thomas, the pilot, flying the Airbus A340-300 313X, the Airbus 340-313X for this flight. So thank you very much for joining for this video, and I hope I'm gonna see you in the next flight. Thank you very much. Bye bye. See you next flight. Bye.